let me get this sorted out. Hi! Now, I just want to check if somebody is watching this that you can actually hear me this time. I think you can. If you can, just comment. I've got the comments up behind me here. So just let me know if the sound is coming through okay. And then we will get started. So, I am going to assume that it is, unless I hear otherwise. Anyhow, I am Melanie Riding, and I am hoping that I've got the sound sorted out this time. I can't believe I was talking for 40 minutes without any sound. Oh my God. So, this time I'm going to give it a go and see if I can get this right. And let's see if we've got a comment. Anyway, I am Melanie Riding. I've got a bundle of qualifications of various types, I've got to admit. And I am a swim teacher, cycling coach, triathlon coach. I have 2 degrees. I've got an NLP qualification. I'm a personal trainer, a massage therapist. I run a business. If you want to know the whole details, please feel free to message me directly because there are lots and lots and lots. So I have decided that I am going to post this video because we're back in lockdown again, New Zealand, and I think this is going to be a regular thing. I know that a lot of people in other places in the world have done this multiple times now. And, yeah, I'm not sure why I can't see that comment. It's a bit strange. I can see there's a comment, but I can't see what it is. Anyway, so we're going to try this again, and I hope I don't have to talk for 40 minutes and don't get anywhere this time. I'm hoping you can hear me. My little is going backwards and forwards, so I'm assuming that's good news. So what I wanted to do is share a bundle of ideas and a whole load of free resources that I have discovered to help you get through lockdown, either this time or any other time that you might be facing uncertainty. So it might not just be lockdown, it might be the stresses related to all sorts of COVID-related dramas that are going on around the world. Some of my relatives live in France and they had a lockdown for nearly a year. Same with England. They've just gone back to work. And so they've been looking at me cavorting around the countryside like a normal person for the last year. Now they're cavorting around the countryside like a normal person whilst I'm sitting in lockdown. That's a bit of a turnaround for books. So there we go. So here is some things that I think will help you get through this drama. There's a whole load of them, and so what you might want to do is grab a notepad and paper, or even watch this back, screenshot, I don't know, that sort of thing. I am going to pop it onto the our YouTube channel later, providing the sound is working this time. I think it is. And then I'm going to put all the stuff I mention in a comment underneath this video afterwards, so that you can go and find them all if you can't remember where I said it. The last time I went through this, it took me about 40 minutes. So sorry. If you need to go somewhere, you might want to come back and watch the end later. So I'm going to start off by explaining that I've got the graphics down here and a second screen over there. I've got the comments behind me because I'm a team of 1 here, producing and presenting and the whole 9 yards. So if I keep looking down there, looking over there, that's what's going on. I'm not getting distracted. Oh, and I've also got a cat that's down there that might come and talk to me in a while. I'll introduce her if she does. So we're going to start off with talking about what actually is stress. What is it? Now, I have found an excellent quote for what is stress, and here it is. Now, that's from a book that I'll mention later, and that author is one that does not mince with words. I think you can see that quite clearly, actually. But I think that's a really good description of stress. And for anybody who's visually impaired and can't see it, I will just read it. I'm sure you all people with eyes can read yourself. The amygdala is always wearing its crazy pants and you find yourself freaked out when you shouldn't be or you don't want to be. You may not You may or may not know why, but your brain may process something it considers as a threat to you, and you aren't even sure of what's going on, and all of a sudden you're falling apart in the middle of a grocery store. Now, what that's talking about is the fact that our brains, people talk about monkey brains, and that's part of the brain. It's often referred to as the monkey brain. That's the fight and flight response. And because we originated back from, apes and things, we've still got an element of our brain that works like that. And originally, it used to be a warning sign to get you out of danger. Something's going to eat me or something. But because we have progressed into an intelligent race and all that sort of thing, we still get those responses, but they're often to what we're thinking about instead of an actual danger. And that is what causes stress. So once we've gotten past what stress actually is, what are we actually going to do about it? Well, to begin with, I want to talk about progressive muscle relaxation. Now, I'm going to talk about a few things that you can do to get you out of the sort of point, and then a whole lot of others that can help maybe stop you getting there in the first place. You might want to skip backwards and forwards through this video because I tried to put it in logical order and I kept struggling with the logic of a logical order. So we're starting off with the fact that the biggest thing that is affected by stress is sleep. And if you don't get enough sleep, you are operating on just 40% of your normal capacity. That's not a whole lot. So sleep affects our mental capacity a lot more than people think. So let's start with that. So if you are really stressed, like steam coming out your ears sort of affair, you're just about to chop somebody's head off because you're that angry, the first thing you need to do is deep, slow breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. That gives your brain a signal to the muscles that they need to chill down and relax. Equally, breathing fast gives your muscles a sign that we're like, right, we're ready for a boxing match here. So the first thing you can consciously do is slow down your breathing. Then we need to fix the sleeping issue. Now, the sleeping, there's a lot of things you can do for sleeping. We're talking about tablets, and all sorts of things, but there's a really simple thing that you can actually do. And this, after you've taken your 10 deep breaths, the next step would be progressive muscle relaxation. Now, if you just make a note of that term and nothing else, then I will show you what that looks like. So I have just literally searched it on YouTube, and you can see how many videos there are of it. There are so many. And you usually don't have to watch what they're saying. You usually just have to listen to it. So I would suggest that you just play a few and see whose voice you like the most, because that will really put you off, or either put you off or have you winning again. So, now what it does is it usually starts from the feet, and it gets you to relax all your muscles one by one. And they talk through it. Now you're going to need to decide whether you like the voice, because the voice, if it's annoying, you're not going to listen to what they're saying. And I usually know within about 10 seconds whether that's like nope or yes or that sort of thing. So listen to a few and try it out. I'm going to give you a whole lot of tools, and then you can decide which ones work best. Then what we're going on to next, after you've done progressive muscle relaxation, you then might want to try some meditation. Okay, now, don't panic here, because meditation doesn't mean sitting with your feet cross-legged and like this here. That's not what it means. It was suggested to me a wee while back as a way of de-stressing and sleeping better, and I thought, oh, what? But actually, it works really well. Now, all I do is listen to someone talking, and I'm usually one of those lies in bed for like up to an hour, and usually I'm asleep before the audio is finished. I gave a few of these resources to somebody who came in to see me a few weeks ago, and she said the same thing. She said it was amazing, and she was asleep before it had even finished, and she never thought that would happen. So I'm going to show you what the few of them are. So let's start with HEADSPACE. Now, I'm sorry this is sideways, but it's an app and I couldn't make it turn around. But and you can't get it on the desktop. So, here we go. So that's HEADSPACE. Sorry, it's sideways, like I said. It's an app on the App Store for Android or Apple. And what you want to do is you can get a 2-week free trial. Now, I really liked this, but it's $190 odd a year. I just couldn't justify that sort of price. So at the end of the 2-week free trial, I went back to the free version, and you're very, very limited on what there is in it. But you still can get access to some. Now, I'm back on the free version, and I'll show you what you get. So I was talking about sleep. Now, here's the sleep one. There's lots of different ones, but I was doing Sleepcasts, which is that top one. Now, what I liked about these was, there's a whole lot of different types there. If you look, turn your head around sideways, you can see them. They set a scene, you are somewhere, and they start with the progressive muscle relaxation, and then they tell you a story that goes through the progressive relaxation techniques, and you're usually asleep before the end of it. The first one I played was 45 minutes long, and I didn't get to the end. I was asleep before then. So they really do work. Now, if you look in this, you can see the lock function is showing me which ones I can't get, that I would have to subscribe, but there are some that you can listen to. There's one called Rainy Day Antiques down here somewhere that you can listen to, but that's how many there are when you are fully subscribed to it. But yes, oh, there it is there. It's that one there. This one, with the cat that's smiling, which doesn't have a lock next to it. You can listen to that. That's 45 minutes long. I have listened to that before. I've listened to a few of them. It's really cool. But like I say, it's expensive, and I wouldn't want to pay that price if I was to just pay for it, to use it. So I ditched that one and then went on to a different one. So we're then on to another one called Insight Timer. So we'll go with this. This is Insight Timer. Now, this one is free. I like free. What they charge for is if you want to do courses, or if you want to be able to fast forward and rewind the audio. And I didn't realize that was a paid feature until I tried to do it. So yeah, that's what paying for courses, or paying so that you can save certain tracks, fast forward and rewind the audio. Nah. So I've got on perfectly fine without doing that, and I was really liking those sleep casts from the last one, so I tried this one. So this is the sleep meditations, and all I did was hit the sleep button at the top there, and then we're going to go sleep meditations. That's what they're calling these instead of sleep casts, and we want to sort them by highest rated. That way you'll get to know really quickly which ones people like better. Now, you're going to need to listen to a few so that you can get used to the voice of the person and find out whether you like them or not. Now, you see the ones with the candles? They are very good if you like spiritual type ones. There are some that are just general relaxation techniques, and there are actually some in here that also would include sleep stories. So I quite like this, because then we can do that. Now, the ones that I have liked so far are here on that screen. So I'm just going to, there, you can see about 9 of them. If you're wanting to know where to start with it, perhaps try a few of those. Like I say, you're going to need to decide for yourself whether you like the voice or not. I normally go for 20 to 30 minutes. And if you're feeling quite stressed, you might want a slightly longer one. So you see the Night in Central Park one is 60 minutes long. That's a bit like a sleep story. I quite liked that. I didn't really like the Gospel of Essences one as much. Rainy Afternoon Nap, quite liked that. And the one I tend to use the most is there at the top of the list, Breathing into Sleep. It's only 20 minutes long, and I'm normally asleep by the end. And that is amazing for me. So that is called Insight Timer, and you can get that on the App Store or the Android Play Store. So that is how you tackle sleep. Now let's talk about learning stuff. Now, I'm assuming that you want to do something about this because you're actually here listening to me in the first place. And even better if you're here listening to me the second time round. So I'm just going to get a quote up there and show you that. So well done if you're here listening, because every positive change comes from deciding to start doing something or deciding to stop doing something. Now, it's really simple when you look at it like that. Really quite simple. So, what are we going to do next then? We're going to learn about it. Now, did you know, a lot of people actually don't, but did you know that this is a free resource that the Ministry of Business have put out? Now, I'm going onto a tangent here slightly because you might not be a business owner, but if you are, then this is really useful for you because this is free online courses on becoming digital savvy and helping you to figure out how to switch your business online. They're free courses. And if you sign me up, they send you emails every now and again that tells you what new resources they've added. Now, they are useful because they led me to another thing I didn't know existed. But this is the free resource website. So they do various courses there. You can see customer insights, digital marketing, making websites, how to do digital accounting, all them sorts of things. And like I say, that was made by the Ministry of Business. So in conjunction with the Mind Lab. So that is completely free. digitalboost.org.nz. Now, in addition to that, there's another thing that they've put out for free. Let me just get that website and I'll just grab it for you. Hang on a second. So, this is something I found out as a result of the fact that I got one of the Digital Boost emails and it only came the other day. This is Clearhead. Now, this is the web version. You can get it on an app, and I actually like it on the app a lot better, but the picture would be sideways, so we're not going to do that. But it is available on an Android and an Apple app, and this is great. A doctor and a psychologist together have made this. There's a video of them introducing themselves right at the very beginning, but when you log in, you get a digital assistant, and this is what pops up. It's like a chat bot. Now, I have played about with this a few times, and the chat bot's actually really good. Some of them are pretty shitty, to be honest, but this one is really good. And it asks you questions, and based on your answers, it sends you to tools or lessons, and you can save everything so you can refer back to it. And what it does, it teaches you how to recognize your own body's signs of stress, anxiety, depression, that sort of thing. So, I'm not going to go through the chat just now. What I'm going to do is show you what there is. So, there was lots of tools that teach you about signals and ask you to log signals for various things. So, I'll just flick slowly through that list so you can see what they all are. But they're quite comprehensive, as you can see. Muscle relaxation, like I was saying, there's a muscle relaxation one, mindful breathing, all those blue ones. That full body relaxation one is probably a good one to listen to, and deep breathing. And then we've got stress, gratitude, being kind to yourself, something that I'm not very good at right at the moment. And then there are also lessons. So these lessons are added in based on the questions and answers you ask the chatbot. If you want it to tailor it for you, don't want to have to troll through everything. Do it that way. And you go through a lesson like this, and then you can save it and go back to it. It is fabulous, and it is absolutely free. And I don't think very many people know about it. So that is clearhead.org.nz. And like I say, you can get that on the app and the Android store, and you can access it online through the website on a web browser as well. So that's definitely worth looking at if you're looking to learn a bit more about your own stress responses. Then I was searching around on the internet and I found something else. Now I just want to show you this. So if there's any questions and comments, I'll check at the end and see what they are. So this one is SCRIBD. Now you can see the title at the top there, SCRIBD. This is an app and I think it's American. And I was trawling around looking for things to do with my spare time, and I fancied, like, I don't know, reading some books, digital books and things like that. And I wasn't sure about the whole audiobook thing, which is Audible. And this one has a combination of both. So it throws up titles based on what you've been searching for, and then you can look at everything else. Now, what the downside of this is it asks you to add your credit card details in to give you a free month. Now I was like, Now I did go in and do it, and it doesn't charge you. I was a bit dubious at the beginning, but you put your credit card details in, you do not get charged. And then I went back in straight afterwards and ended my trial. I've still got access to the trial for the month, but I've did it as soon as I signed up, so I didn't forget to delete it later. And this is what it is. So you have got books, which you can read. Now, the quote about the amygdala that I showed you earlier is from this one, Unfuck Your Brain. And if you like the straightforward way of thinking, this is the book for you. You can turn down corners, and if you look at the right-hand corner there, you can click and turn down the pages, and you can save your progress for later. It's a bit like Kindle, but you don't have to. You can just get rid of it once you've read it. And then you've got audiobooks, which are here. So they are quite useful. Now, I didn't think I'd like audiobooks, but they are quite useful because, if you think about what's going on at the moment, there's so much stress. Like, you're thinking about, oh my God, am I going to have a job? What is the government going to do? How much longer are we in lockdown? What can I do? What can I not do? Are my staff all right? Is my bank balance all right? Am I all right? And once you've whizzed around all them, your brain's not ready for focusing on any other damn thing. So that's when listening to an audiobook is really useful. I didn't think I'd like it, but actually it is quite useful to listen to whilst you're doing something else. And you can get some of them in both versions. Then we've got various documents and articles and things like that. We actually even have sheet music, which is quite useful. Might actually make me play my flute. And then we've got some magazines, which are a lot of the magazines you would usually recognise. Now, I liked this because I don't want to buy magazines because of the wasted paper. You read it maybe once or twice and then you throw it out. But I do like reading them. And when I go to the hairdressers, for example, I would take pictures of the pages that that have recipes and things like that on. So here is when you can do that. Now you don't, and there's also kids' books and kids' magazines. Now you don't get the magazine exactly like it might look, let's go for hello, exactly, sorry, like it might look in a real magazine. It's digitized. So here's what it looks like. So each article is a separate page like this, and then you open it up and there's the article. So it looks slightly different, but it means you can flick in and out of those magazines and not have to buy them. Then we've got podcasts, if you like that sort of thing. There are some quite nice podcasts in there. Some of them were just specially for SCRIBD, and that is it. So I would suggest you had a wee look at that. If you wanted to, it's American. If you wanted to carry on and pay for it, it told me that it was $9 a month, which I think is, what's that, 11, maybe 12 New Zealand dollars a month? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to see how I go with it. I'm going to go with a month's free trial, because sometimes you look through these things and it's all like novel at the beginning and then you don't look at it afterwards. So I'll see how I go with that. But that's SCRIBD, and I'm going to come back to it to show you some books that I found in there. So once we have got through that, let me just go back to my quotes. Where are they? So if we go back to this one, which was the quote that I showed you right at the beginning about arousal, that was in the book Unfuck Your Brain. She then goes on to explain why emotions don't last just the moment that they happen in. And this is her explanation, because brain goes round and round and round and round and round and round. So, yes, I just snapshotted them from the book. So you can, because they're digital, you can just, nick a wee quote like that. However, before we carry on, I am just going to show you this one here. Now, there's always a plus for having a lockdown. Now, to think about the last lockdown, we were sort of 7 months in with the last lockdown. No, 7 weeks, sorry. And the first few weeks, it was like, woo, this is cool. Then it was like, this is boring. This time, we're a bit more savvy. We managed to snap the country into a lockdown in less than 4 hours. Everybody switched their businesses online easier and quicker than last time. But now we've got time to spare. What are we going to do about it? There's no point in getting in a stress. Well, stress has a function, but mental stress can detract from what we're trying to do. So you get some purpose for your spare time and do some learning. Get a bit of space. So even if it means going and sitting in the bottom of the garden or in the bathroom with the door shut, make sure you have some space to take those 10 deep breaths. Even if you're in a house of 7, I'm sure there is a little bit of space you can go and sit in, even if it's sitting in the car. So carrying on from there. So we've talked about SCRIBD. Now, I've also talked about sleep. So carrying on with the next one, that's what we're doing next. We're doing journaling. Right. So I'm going to switch back to SCRIBD for a second. Journaling. That's another thing that is also suggested for helping you to de-stress, unjumble your brain, and that sort of thing. Now, if you're like, oh, what is journaling? And like, this is not Dear Diary. The book you want to listen to is this one here. I'm just going to make sure it doesn't start playing because it started playing before. So yeah, if you want to figure out what the heck journaling is to see whether it works for you, have a flick through that one, either listening or reading. I actually found this one easier to read than I did to listen, because you can sort of glance down the pages and flick through it. Now, it talks about you don't have to write in sentences. You can do like mood boards. You can be artistic about it, drawings, or you can just write. Mind dump, that's what they call it. In the morning, I sometimes do that in the morning. When you wake up, just write. Doesn't matter what you're writing, and it doesn't matter if you never read it again or some. It just gets the stuff out of your head, and then you can unjumble it into a sensible order. And the act of writing it down means you're processing it in a secondary way without you even realizing. Then I'm going to go back to that. This is another one. So there it is there. This yellow one here, unfuck your brain. The next one I want to point out to you there is that third one along. Screen disappears too quick and I can't zoom it in. It's that third one along, and it's now first. It says 365 expert tips to healthier, happier, better each day. This one is really good because you flick through and it gives you little short snippets. 365 simple tips to help you de-stress and make some changes. And I'm just going to show you a few of those. So this is from that book. Now, this is a good one to flick through rather than read cover to cover. And I wouldn't buy it, but it is useful if this is like a virtual library for 30 days, let's face it. It is useful. So that page shows you 2 ways of making home cream cleanser for cleaning the house. That's quite useful and random. Then it talks about belly fat. So we all want to know how to get rid of belly fat. So that tells you ways to do it, the risks, how to calculate how bad it is and what your risks are. I was talking about de-stressing. They talk about jasmine. So the scent of jasmine, and I often have jasmine tea actually, jasmine green tea. And it has got a stress release and mood stabilizing attributes to it. So that's useful. Breathing, so that she mentions in this book, which is completely separate to the other one, the art of breathing. And then this one, which I thought was quite useful, acupressure. It might be worth framing this video here and reading that later, because acupressure points, and it might be worth you Google searching. If you wanted me to talk about anything more about that, then let me know. So that was that. So that's what I'm going to say to you so far. Well done so far, because everything that you've done to get yourself to this point is means that you're doing better than somebody who's not here and is in a worse mental state. So keep looking after yourself, like they keep saying. That's why there's such a big drive for mental health. And you need to recognize the fact that you've recognized it and that you're wanting to address the issue. That's a good thing. It really has to be a good thing. So give yourself a round of applause for that. So moving on, journaling. That's what I was going to talk about. Journaling before I was showing you those books. So I just want to show you an example of how journaling can be helpful. I was talking about journaling before in the senses, like, if you have never done it, you might be like, what does it mean? Dear diary? No, it doesn't, not necessarily. I want to give you an example. Now, I've had this book in actual format as well as digital format, and this is an example of a page and how I might lay it out. So this is the Passion Planner. Now, I'm just going to flick you through this page just really quickly. So you've got one page for each week. They've got a bundle of different types of layouts. If you like writing a lot, there's a page a day for one of them. I like the page a week. And then it gives you 2 boxes where you can put a focus in and good things that happen. Now, I like the good things that happen box because it makes you concretely find and write down 3 good positive things about that week. And I will often think, oh, this month has been shit. And then I'll go back and look and find all the positive things that I've written down from the previous weeks and go, actually, it's not as bad as I thought. There's also a comment or a quote on every page. That's the quote that's on this particular page that I am using for this example. And then you can like cut and paste lots of other things in. So I've cut and paste lots of stuff into here. I've got a sleep journal going on along the top because I'm trying to work out whether I'm doing too much and whether it's affecting my sleep, and that's regards to rehab. Then down in this corner, and I'm also tracking my mental and physical fatigue along the bottom there. I'm a visual person. Then there's a little bit of a notes bit at the bottom. So that is a quote I found online and I made that little picture out of it. I just want you to make a note of that. And self-love. You need to self-love. I don't do it enough. And this is an image from Zwift earlier in the week. I feel like everything's a bag of crap when I climb on the bike and ride because I've only got one leg and I'm nowhere near as good as I used to be. But in Zwift this week, I'm the one in the red, white and blue. I got past that guy that is in the blue, white and grey top. So it's left, middle and right. I actually cycled past him going up a hill. So yes, so Zwift need to give me an amputee avatar so that guy knows that I was cycling past him with one leg. But anyway, I digress. So then, if we flick around to the next page, you can then handwrite on here if you've got a tablet with a pen or something like that, or type. And that means that it can become a notebook as well. And this is where I do sort of like the morning brain dump and that sort of thing. And I have found when I do all of those checks and keep those records, it's actually really helped me to stay on track. Like I said, this is Passion Planner. You can change the pages to make them in any order you want. You can copy multiple pages. So a page normally looks like that. That's a blank, empty page. And this website, passionplanner.com, they've got some free downloads of examples of various planners. So you can download it, print it, or if you've got a digital tablet sort of thing, you could use it on there. Download the PDF and then try it out for yourself for a while. You can buy them in book format, but they come from America, so I suggest it probably would take a while if you're trying to order it from there now. But there are free samples on their website. This app I'm using with it is called GoodNotes, and it is on the Apple and Android store. And that's just the one that I found as best because I like some of it to be digital, but I also like the handwriting aspect of it as well. So that is journaling and what it does for me. Now, the last and final bit I just want to share with you is NLP. Now, I have done NLP before, and I used to offer it as a coaching service. And NLP is something that it's neuro-linguistic programming. And it is something that it's different to the counselling model in so much as counsellors are like, there, you're broken, we need to fix you. Psychologists, which you have to have a degree for, I like psychologists more than counsellors, because psychologists try to help you, arm you with tools to get out of the situation. NLP is a little bit like that, in so much as it assumes you have got the toolbox to deal with the situation, we just need to help you find the tool. So, if you wanted to know a bit more about that, I'm more than happy to talk about that in future sessions. There is a specific script that goes with it for certain types of treatments, and it can treat trauma and long-term beliefs and negative self-beliefs and all those sorts of things. It can also be used for life coaching. It's got a large range of things that it can be helpful for. And so I'm thinking of offering that in the future. And I've been brainstorming this over the weekend because we are sitting in lockdown, and so therefore, well, what else am I going to do? I'm also going to put some online video consult appointments up on the website over the next couple of days that offer various types of things like online personal training coaching, mental strength coaching, fitness planning, nutrition guidance, that sort of thing, which I'm going to offer for free whilst we are in lockdown, because I like that and I just want to give back to all those stressy people in the world that are dealing with this stressy situation in the same way as I am. So that is, I think, everything that I was going to use. That's my parting quote, just before I get rid of it. That's my parting thought for you. You have made it through hard times before, and you're going to make it through again. This time, do something with your spare time, learn a skill, better yourself, do something that you can step out of here with some new skills that you can then use in the world as it keeps changing, because this is going to happen for a very long time to come. So I am just going to see if I can see some comments on my computer, if I can get into the computer. Let me see. Oh, there seems to be a lot. So let's just look. I'm just going to check. I've got this going out live on 2 pages, so let me just check the other one. Excellent. The sound is working. I like that. I'm glad that you can hear the sound this time. Thank you for the comment, Cindy. I saw somebody had commented, but I couldn't make out where the heck the comment had ended up. So, yes, I am going to... This video will be available on Watchback, so feel free to share it around. I'm also going to put it on YouTube as well as a recording, so that we can stick it on the blog, because there's so much stuff in there that is helpful to you that you don't have to spend a cent on, and you can get so much from it. So if there is anything you want me to cover, recover, talk more about, something I haven't talked about today, feel free to comment below, or if you'd prefer, you can private message me on facebook.com/Mel Riding PT. That's my personal page. That message will come to me and no one else. I am not going to disclose any identities or anything like that. I know that anxiety, mental health and all that sort of thing is a bit of a difficult topic to publicly talk about. So if you want to message me privately instead of putting the comment under the video, that is fine too. Thank you for joining. I'm glad, yay, that we got the video sound working the second time round. And I will talk to you all soon. Have a safe weekend and make sure you get out into the sunshine for 10 minutes a day, even if it's just to walk around the yard. Have a good one, hopefully. We'll be back out of lockdown on Wednesday, but frankly, I'm not that sure. Toodaloo.